What's up, y'all? This is Derek. Somebody told me my mic was a little low yesterday, so let's see if I can be a little bit more forceful with this diaphragm. Microphone check, 1, 2. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm going to try to keep moving. The next step of rebuilding my company website. Yesterday, when we started, we focused on setting up a gem to give me a little structure because I tend to be not so structured sometimes. So I was trying to address my deficit there. So today we're going to take that feedback and see what we can do to move next. So I did a little research. It came back with some feedback around the strategies for how to build my site based on the two examples that I gave it. And it's already got a tech stack strategy. Now, this is another example of, even though the AI might say, hey, now it's time to go ahead and prompt and have you build out your product, I would say intuition would tell me this is not enough research. So how can I get more research and actually make sure that I'm doing something worth your time? So this is where I'm a big fan of NotebookLM, which is also a Google product. Again, so for the same $20 a month, you're getting access to all these tools I'm going to show you. So NotebookLM.Google gives you access to a really powerful internet researcher and agent that can help you really collate your ideas. So they have some examples on the site, but I can create a new one and say, look, I need help discovering new websites for this problem I'm trying to solve. So I have a business that focuses on helping people use AI, people learn, understand, and use AI in their personal lives and businesses, right? Find examples of similar sites that are interactive and popular. Why not? Why do I want to build something that's not like other things that people actually want? So what I'll do here is you have it do the research, and what it does is it goes and scans the web. Basically, it's using Google, right, to find whatever you put in there in the research. And what's powerful about NotebookLM is whatever information you put into it, now that becomes the universe from which you get questions answered. So you don't have to worry as much about other things coming back. You can just say, hey, I really want to focus on these 10 articles or these 10 websites for my universe of understanding, right? So now it's come up with the first 10 suggestions of sites and probably articles and top 10 lists and all kinds of stuff, right? So these articles are all these sources are being loaded. You can load up your own sources. You can load up with examples from web pages and other things that you may have, so you don't have to be limited to what NotebookLM tells you, but it's a good starting point to figure it out. And so once these sources come in, if you don't like one of them, you can, for example, turn off a source, right? So you don't necessarily want to have that source in your information. So these are the first 10 sources, and they basically give you a summary. From here, you can do some fun things. You can have an audio overview, which is like creating a podcast. So you can have two people go back and forth and discuss this topic. And it's a great way to get perspectives on a given topic. They've got a video overview. They've got the ability to create a slide deck, which is pretty fun. It is slow as Christmas, though, so I just will warn you. And they can do some other fun things, like the mind map comes up pretty quickly, but you can click on any one of these things and get a pretty quick summary of the content. And then you can even go in here and ask a follow-up question and say something like, do any of these sites use or explain agents well, right? So that may be a topic that I'm personally curious about, and so what it'll do is it'll analyze just these 10 sites and come back with the ones that speak to that. Similarly, so I gave you the mind map example. So now I can go in here and it captures the key elements of all of these sites that I just pulled up, and you can go deeper into each one. And if I click on any one of these, it actually open up a new page. But you can very quickly start to analyze the content of these sites just through a mind map, which is really powerful. If you're a visual learner, this could be really powerful for those of you that take in information this way. So pretty cool stuff, right? So I've got all this information now, and I'm going to go back to this page and go back to this list of things. So I've got all this cool stuff. I said, do any of these talk about agents? And it says, sure, here are the ones that talk about agents. So again, I can go deeper into each one of these web pages and decide what I want to do. So now I'm going to ask it to suggest, can you suggest a best in breed website design and content strategy based on my objective of supporting people who are new to AI and want to reap the benefits. All right, so again, I'm being a little less detailed than normal for the sake of brevity, because I didn't even pay attention to my time. I think I got less than 3 minutes now. But I'm going to come back, it's going to come back with a strategy, and I'm going to take this strategy back to our original thread and say, hey, here's a little bit more color on what I think I want my site to do. And then the next step will be to use the other tool to create an initial prototype of my new website, right? So now I've got all of these suggestions for my website, right? So again, if I was taking my time, I would go through and inspect all of these recommendations and decide whether or not I wanted to follow all of them. But I can save it because I can always come back, and then let's go back to Gemini and say I did some additional research. That I want integrated in our site design. And I like to use words like our, so it doesn't feel like I'm having it do things for me. It tends to make it more collaborative and ask you questions, which you do want. So I take all of that feedback, I put it in here, and I said, look, I want all of this integrated in our design, and you will get a much more comprehensive site design, and then you can decide if you want to move forward. So I'm going to make myself stop, even though I really want to keep talking. But for this 10 minutes, this was a good introduction into NotebookLM and how you use NotebookLM as part of your plan. It is not your whole plan, but it can definitely be an amazing research assistant and agent for you. And so, as you can see, it's coming back with the implementation strategy based on this feedback, and I'm already a big fan. All right, so with that, I'm going to stop. And can you tell I got a meeting today because I got on my work sweater, not my hoodie and my comfortable leisure wear. Anyway, I'll be back.